Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, October 25th, 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2022. The seismic swarm at Iceland continues as we have some activity on the west coast. 5.1 earthquake hits near San Jose, rattling the bay. But the big story, feet of October snow slam the Rockies, and much more is on the way. Keep calm. Holy macaroni. It's boom time. Now, Alta, Utah officially received 25 inches in the recent storm, according to the National Weather Service, which took the area above its October monthly average of 24.4 inches, with a week left to run and plenty more snow on the way. Hey, winter advisory has just been issued until October 26th at 6 a.m. Pacific time. What is expected? Snow above 4,000 feet in northern Oregon Cascades and the Cascades in Lane County from 6 p.m. this evening to 6 a.m. on Wednesday. Travel could be very difficult. Slow down and use caution. Now, this early snow could mean Mount Hood Meadows opens sooner than anticipated. Mount Hood Meadows plans to open November 25th. We don't care about that. But if weather cooperates, you could be taking turns down the mountain even sooner. And when we show you the models, hello, shut up, Al! He's a little upset about the models. More snow headed to Colorado after 12 plus inches over the weekend. And the Colorado snowpack levels now 229% of average, which is a good start of the season, especially for Lake Mead that continues to rise in the drop season. So we're going to see a great recovery from Lake Mead in the coming months. Now, west-wide Snowtel current snow water equivalent is completely epic. Look at this. 200, 300, 1,300% of average, 800%, 40% of average. We are lacking here in Wyoming, but that's going to come to an abrupt end as most of the Rockies are well above average, in fact, crushing records. Utah records its first reported human-caused avalanche of the season, and this is a good wake-up call. The avalanche was reported in Little Cottonwood Canyon near Mount Baldy. Say that 5 times fast. Now, National Weather Service also has a preliminary count saying 3 to 4 tornadoes spun up Monday in central Oklahoma. The storm cells produced 65 to 85 mile per hour winds, according to officials. So we do have some damage. And let's get to the forecast. Powerful storm to impact Alaska. Active weather for the west. A powerful storm will continue to affect Alaska through the middle of this week with strong winds, heavy precipitation, and coastal hazards. Meanwhile, an upper-level disturbance is forecasted to track across the intermontane west with showers, wind, and some snow for the higher elevations. This system is expected to develop further for the southern plains for the second half of the week, and it's a tweak. Wait till we get to the models. But first, let's look at the pummeling in Alaska. And this is just in the next 2 days. Look at the heavy snow moving into southern Alaska. And, well, take a look at that. Portions of Canada and British Columbia are going to be pummeled. Look at the depths here, 10 feet. As we look at the lower 48 as a whole, here is your Wednesday through your Thursday, and that's when we're going to get snow here in Colorado. But Wednesday's looking good for the Pacific Northwest and Idaho. I don't know. And look at Wyoming's going to be picking up some more snow as well as Colorado. Down into New Mexico, there's your second system that's going to be quite big. It's going to be coming in right at the change of the month. November 1st, it's going to drop down from Canada into the 2nd and the 3rd. And have you heard? Boom time. There it is. So the snow is looking epic. And if we look at all of North America as a whole, well, it is going to be very snowy by the first week of November. And that means extreme cold for most of the region. And even record cold for, well, probably in hundreds of locations. Now, the 5.1 earthquake that hit near San Jose, rattling the Bay Area, well, there was no immediate reports of injuries or damage. That's good news. And let's do a little quick seismic update here. We've got lots of activity. There's the 5.1 in San Jose with some aftershocks. We have an East Coast rumbler, a 2.6 in Independence, Virginia. Hawaii continues to rock. The biggest quake of the day is going to be the 6.4 12 kilometers east of Dolores, Philippines. No tsunami warnings or watches. We were watching all day at the seismic activity as the increases happened. And so no other quakes of note, as we've had some two pretty moderately large rumblers. 5.1, 15 kilometers east southeast of Alum Rock, and the 6.4 in the Philippines. Stay tuned for more boom as we move over to Iceland, which is still seismically active up here in the Tyrnis fracture zone. The Reykjanes Peninsula is also active, as well as the Vatnajökull and the Miðjarðarjökull. Then this is where Kafka and Hekla. Kafla, well, you know what I'm trying to say. But the seismic swarm continues north of the Vatnajökull. Let's go over there and take a look at some of the data. Take a look at this. Now, this is where Ostia is, down here by the lake. And you can see the volcano right there. There is some residual activity happening here in the orange, but the main swarm is a tectonic one. This is where the mid-ocean ridge literally comes through here, forming this volcano complex and moving up to the north to the Tyrnis fracture zone. So this activity is continuing, is ongoing. It's been going on for days. And we're keeping a close eye on the seismicity in Iceland because it, well, very well may be boom time. Worldwide Volcano News. Fuego, Popo, Shivalush, Sabancaya, Alade, Swanosima. Nothing significant, all normal puffing and passing. Space Weather News. The disk is blank except a small spot that is just turned around the limb. Flaring is still in the B range. Some small C flares, 2 of them occurred in the last 24 hours, but nothing of note. We actually went into psychic mode 3 hours ago. For 3 hours, it was at KP0, and you know what that means. I don't even need to tell you. Now, solar activity was at fairly low levels during the past few days, with only minor C flares detected. And the newly assigned active region 3133 in the northeast quadrant was responsible for 2 of the C flares. There's almost no sunspots there, so that's quite interesting. A C 3.3 and a C 4.9 as it continued to turn into view. Now, this region, along with the existing AR 3126 and AR 3131, which we can see here, will be a threat for minor C flares. But that's about it. So these are the 26, 3130, and 3133. The disk as a whole is pretty sparse as we enter solar max, as we've been pointing out day after day. Discover solar wind showing all telemetry is quiet. We have now shifted sun to earth, and that's when we drop down into KP0. Density is flattening. Speed is reducing below 400 kilometers per second, and the temperature is dropping. All is quiet on the sun. Well, on the surface of the earth, things are heating up, especially with multinational corporations whose only job is to gobble up money while they reduce the price of their product and they kill you. And that adds money to the pharmaceutical industry that then needs to treat you. Now, Dove, Nexus, and other dry shampoos have been recalled. In fact, 19 of them for cancer-causing chemicals. And this is not new. If you buy cheap soaps, cheap shampoos, anything from the dollar store, anything that costs $1 that you're going to put on your body, well, is probably not a good idea. Please look into natural cleansing products. They almost have no cost. You can make soap on your own. You can saponify olive oil and make soaps very easily that don't have any of the dozens of cancer-causing chemicals in these products. Now, they may be cheap and convenient, but is your life worth a little bit more time on the surface versus cheap and convenient? I mean, come on. Wake up, children. Make your own soap or buy from a reputable producer that is making natural products. Period. Ancient Mayan stela discovered in Uxmal. Holy macaroni. The monument was found in its original resting place, giving archaeologists valuable information on its past, and it's quite spectacular. Look at the temple complex. Look at the stela. Look at those. Amazing. They're actually tablets, in my opinion. Now, in the archaeological site of Uxmal in the Yucatan Peninsula, a Maya stela depicting a god and a goddess has been discovered by the technical team headed by the archaeologist Joe Huchim Herrera. The monument could represent the duality between life and death, or astronauts flying off the Earth, or shamans taking massive amounts of mushroom and seeing into the future. It's anyone's guess. Now, in Greenwich, 2 paleontologists have discovered an unknown dinosaur fossil in the Bruce's Museum's archives. The only problem is that this is not a dinosaur. It's a bird. It's an 11 million year old bird, which happens to be 53 million years after the mass extinction of dinosaurs. So this is the dumbest article ever, and Greenwich Time can suck it. It's nothing but a sharticle. Now, a mysterious object may be a strange star made out of quarks, scientists say. Well, scientists say a lot of dumb things, including that this object may be a strange star. See, cosmologists know nothing about our universe because they're using the standard model, and everything for the last 100 years that they've ever discovered has baffled them. So, the problem is that as scientists, you should realize that after hundreds of years of being baffled from your model, that your model is probably wrong. Now, a relatively small, dense object cloaked with a cloud of its own, exploded remains just a few thousand light years away, is defying cosmologists' understanding of stellar physics. By all accounts, it seems to be a neutron star, though it's an unusual one at that. It's just 77% the mass of the sun. It's the lowest mass ever measured for an object of its kind. The lightest neutron star ever discovered means cosmology is dead. Now, ancient bacteria might lurk beneath Mars' surface. In a first-of-its-kind study, a research team, including Northwestern University, Brian Hoffman, and A.J. Sharma, found that ancient bacteria could survive close to the surface of Mars much longer than previously assumed. And when the bacteria are buried and thus shielded from the galactic cosmic radiation and solar protons, they can survive much longer. Thus, when Mars' first samples return to Earth, scientists should be on the lookout for ancient sleeping bacteria. And you should be on the lookout for a cave to save your ass during the next solar proton event. Yes, that's a big boom from the sun. And we have great news. There are actual people in communist Canada that are sticking their up the of the government. And they've created their own system of exchange. In case you haven't heard, it's illegal to buy, trade, or sell a gun in Canada. So the population is completely unarmed and effed, in my opinion. But smart Canadians are stepping up to the plate, especially in White City, Ramada. And this is in Saskatchewan. The Canada Trade and Barter event in Regina. This is November 26th, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. at White City, Ramada. This is at location is 32 to 28 Great Plains Road, Emerald Park, Saskatchewan, S4L1B8. It's open to the public, and a donation for the room is appreciated. A silver broker will be on site. A coffee corner will be set to socialize. Goods and services or silver are the currency. That's it. No cash, no crypto, no bullshit. Sweat equity, invaluable barter is being practiced in Canada because they know it's coming and no one's bumming. And that's boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. That's the 7 Ps. It's a British military adage, well, to cover your ass. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Be a hero and share the video. We love you. Be safe. That's a boom.